Hi, I'm Bugsy and I'm an addict. I'm going to be reading February 24th, 2024, A New Influence, page 56, basic text, page 15. Personality change was what we really needed. Change from self-destructive patterns of life became necessary. In early life, most of us were capable of joy and wonder, of giving and receiving unconditional love. When we started using, we introduced an influence into our lives that slowly drove us away from those things. The further we were pushed down the path of addiction, the further we withdrew from joy, wonder, and love. That journey was not taken overnight, but however long it took, we arrived at the doors of NA with more than just a drug problem. The influence of addiction has warped our whole pattern of living beyond recognition. The 12 steps work miracles, it's true, but not many of them are worked overnight. Our disease slowly influenced our spiritual development up for the worst. Recovery introduces new influence to our lives, a source of fellowship and spiritual strength, slowly impelling us into new, healthy patterns of living. This change, of course, doesn't just happen. But if we cooperate with the new influence NA has brought to our lives, over time we will experience the personality change we call recovery. The 12 steps provide us with a program for the kind of cooperation required to restore joy, wonder, and love to our lives. Just for today, I will cooperate with the new influence of fellowship and spiritual strength NA has introduced into my life. I will work the next step in my program. I've kind of said this before that none of us, woke up one day and was like, I'm going to be a drug addict or an alcoholic. That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. It just kind of happened, whether it happened because you were out partying and, got a little too carried away and got stuck, or you were going through a horrible time in your life and just needed something to help you escape the pain and the sorrow of whatever was going on in your life. And I think that we all at one point knew what it was to feel joy and happiness. And then once we got addicted, we just numbed all that pain, numbed all those feelings, even the happy feeling. And since I have found recovery personally, I feel like my brain and my mind and my mental health has just been calm. I feel like I battled addiction and I won. So really anything that comes my way isn't as hard as winning addiction. It's not as hard as losing my kids. So it's almost as if recovery has brought me a sense of well-being and comfort, knowing that whatever comes my way, I can face it. And I can face it in a manner that is, level-minded, excuse me, and ready to win against whatever comes my way. And even if it's something positive, you can, win that positivity. Like, that's what I want to do. I'm excited for it. And then guess what? You're going to do it. Boom. I won that excitement. I won that sorrow. I won in life. I took day by day, life on life's terms, one day at a time, and I won. I came up on top. And I think that we need to embrace recovery for what it is. It's recovery. We're getting better. We're learning how to human again. Because let's face it, during addiction, we weren't the human we wanted to be. We were still human, but the addiction was taken over, or had taken over, and was in control. And it wasn't who you are inside that was living each day. It was the addict inside of you. It was the addiction using you as a vessel to continue its disease throughout you. And now that you have kicked that addiction, or you're trying to kick that addiction, you'll start to notice that there's parts of you that you never even knew were there. Even before you started drinking, even before you started using, you'll be like, who the heck is that? I like it. And I'm doing that. I know that I personally can't really speak on anybody else's recovery, but I assume that most of our recovery is similar to the point that we start seeing the light in a different way, like a different shade of color just comes through that darkness when you get clean. When you get sober, you start to enjoy the little things, like the little tiny things that people take for granted, like showing up on time. I know there are people who have problems with showing up on time even without addiction, but it was a different type of lateness, I think. I once heard someone say, the slowest thing in the world is a tweaker in a hurry. And that hit. I was like, yeah, because it's like, well, I have an hour to get there. Okay, let me do 17,000 things first, and then I'll go. And then by the time I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go, it's been 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, whoopsies. So I feel like we, as addicts in recovery, appreciate these tiny little accomplishments that other people just, that's an everyday thing. And we can take so much stress at once and defeat that stress, because it's like, I'm in recovery. This right now, this situation that I'm handling right now, this is child's play, because getting in recovery and kicking an addiction, alcohol or drugs, sorry if I just spat, that is the fight of your life. So this little inconvenience that just happened in my life, I got this in the bag already. Like, because I find myself finding situations that can be stressful or, demoralizing, and I'm able to approach it like, all right, this is what you got for me today? Let's do this. I'll fix it. Let's go. I got this. And I take a breath. And I look at the whole situation, and I handle the situation. In the past, it could be like, well, let me get high first. This is really stressful. Let me get high first so I can handle it. And it never gets handled, like really handled. So I think recovery is something of a gift that is now offering that joy and love that you once maybe experienced a long, long time ago, but it's heightened because now we can appreciate that joy, appreciate that love, even appreciate the bad days, because it reminds us that we got through the worst days, these bad days. Piece of cake. So I don't know if I derailed off of what the literature was talking about today, but that's how I feel about it. So I will talk to you guys later. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Bye.